start the meeting. We're going to say it's 5:30, but it's really 5:33 for official business here. All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the February meeting of the Historic District Commission. I'm Tim Dowan, Chairman. Please note this meeting is being recorded. If you're not speaking, please have yourself on mute and prevent any background noise. The meeting tonight is broken up into two sections. We have a public hearing and a regular meeting. Public hearing is the opportunity for the applicants to present their application and for the commission members to ask questions. And then once the public hearing closes, the regular meeting begins, and the regular meetings where the commission discusses and votes on the applications. Applicants can stay and listen to the regular meeting, but they're not permitted to speak or provide any more information regarding that application at the time. It's not required that the applicants stay during the regular meeting, and I can assure you that it doesn't go against us if you have other things to do, take care of, but we will contact the applicants in the next day with the results of the application. All applications receive a written notice regarding the decision the next business day. Thank you all. Do I have any questions? All right. So we will start off the public hearing. We do have two COAs on the agenda tonight. Does anyone have any time restrictions? Because we can take them in any order. Hearing none, I will just start with COA 509. This is 197, 199 Broadway, Diocese of Norwich. This is for preservation roofing. All right. So we have our applicant representative here, Father Pete.
Yes.
Excellent.
And we have our director of Diocesan Properties, Mr. Joseph Muscarella, as well.
Okay. I see you in the background. Thank you.
I'm trying to stay out of camera.
All right. Don't be shy. So we have your application. And this is a chance for you to describe what you're planning on doing here.
So this is, as you said, for 197, 199 Broadway. The roof is in desperate need of replacement. And I'll let Mr. Muscarella speak more to the details, but it would be replacing like shingles for like shingles, as is currently on the property, but he can give you some of the details.
Right. The only thing we would like to do is they're going to be asphalt shingles, which are up there now. Instead of having a 3-tab, we would like to go with an architectural shingle, which is actually better. That's all we'd like to do. The color would be as close as we can to the original color. Like I say, the only thing difference would be 3-tab to an architectural shingle. That would be a better shingle. That's all.
Okay. And we do have two pictures, I think, that were added with the application.
Correct.
Do we have any questions from, is that, if that's the presentation, do we have any questions from any of the commission members?
The one picture that's there shows multiple roofs. Are you getting them all completely replaced, or is it just the largest one on the large building?
No, there is what they call 197, 199, the Bishop Flanagan Ministry Center. That will be replaced. And then what we have is 7 Otis Street, which is a small, what they call the cottage house. That would also be replaced. They're together, they're combined. There's just a breezeway in between them.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay.
So all of those roofs, that's a big problem.
Yeah, there's only 2 of them. There's only 2 of them.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good sized project.
Oh, yes, yeah. Anything for Norwich.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I thought there were more pictures. Am I mistaking this? Or is there?
I think there's 4 pictures there.
Yeah,
All
I think
right,
several pictures.
Yeah.
From different angles and stuff like that.
Sorry, I had must have had a drone up or something, or we're climbing up on the Bishop Mobile, or I'm not sure what, but at any rate.
We were
I
in
see.
Balloon.
All right, that was my mistake. I left the thing here, so there were 4 pictures. All right, architectural, same color.
Yeah.
stripping the shingles
Correct.
down, or you will
Yeah.
take them off and
Yeah.
it'll be fresh, okay? And then replace any board, any backing that's needed. Okay. Any other questions?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. Oop. Who was that? Did I hear someone say I have one or none?
Nope,
have
I
none.
I have none.
Okay. All right. All right. Hearing no other questions, we'll close out this COA, and we will, again, you're welcome to stay around and listen in. And when we get into the regular meeting after the next COA, we will discuss this and do a vote. So,
Very much.
Thank you.
all right. Next, do we have COA 510? This is a Society of the Founders of Norwich. Regan as our representative for this two town streets application. So this is for reconstruction, new construction of a porch. Take it away, Regan.
All right, hi, everybody. I'm taking off HDC hat and putting on Norwich Historical Society hat for a moment.
Oh, I'm not sure which one looks better, but
So as you guys know, the Norwich Historical Society and the Society of the Founders of Norwich, who own and operate Leffingwell House Museum, have established a partnership dating back to 2018 formally, but even before then, we had a history of collaboration between the two organizations. But our formal partnership resulted in the effort to restore two properties that the Society of the Founders of Norwich own, the Joseph Carpenter Shop and then the Greenleaf House located at 2 Town Street, directly adjacent to the Leffingwell House Museum. And our goal specifically for the Greenleaf House was to create a campus at the Leffingwell House Museum complex because the two buildings are right next door to each other. The goal is for Leffingwell to be the museum space, while 2 Town Street Greenleaf House is the multi-purpose event space where we could do rotating exhibitions, programs, events, etc. So that's the ultimate goal for the Greenleaf property. So we have received some significant grant funding the past couple of years for the Greenleaf House, focusing mostly on interior stabilization of the lower basement level. And then we were able to do some site work. We didn't get to finish it because our funding was a little limited, but we got some headway. We're excited because we recently received $500,000 in money from the American Rescue Plan through the state of Connecticut to hopefully, if not finish, get really close to completion of our rehabilitation of 2 Town Street. And so what we're tackling first, and there's going to be a series of times that we're coming back to the commission for approvals, but the first task that we're going to accomplish is the rehabilitation of the porch that kind of faces Washington Street if you're in the Bacchus intersection, Bacchus Hospital intersection, and if you're going down Town Street, the porch is, the first thing you see, and it's unfortunately blighted right now, and it's rotten and it's falling apart. And so our goal is to remove the existing porch, but we will be saving the historic materials. There's a couple corbels on the porch that are original, and we will be saving them because we want to reinstall them when the project is completed. I will also add that the porch is technically not original to the building. It was added a lot later. The building dates back to 1763, and the porch is probably anywhere between, the photos are hard, anywhere between like 1895 and 1930 in that time period. So it's a much later addition, but regardless, since it's an intact piece of the house and a piece of the history, we're intending to basically rebuild it. So unfortunately, so much of it is rotten that some pieces will have to be demolished and removed while saving the pieces that are in better condition. But like I said, those corbels will be restored and then added later. And we also will be repairing some of the clapboard siding because that's also been deteriorated and damaged over time. Fixing some of the trim. We'll be installing windows, which will be wood windows, and also replacing the door that's also existing because it is damaged and not salvageable. That will be replaced with a wood door. And basically the porch will be built exactly the way it looks right now, except it just will be restored and looking a lot better than it does right now. Our goal is to use material such as cedar is something that our architect identified, and everything will be up to code, and whatever the current building code is, that is what our plans are for the specifications. And the application, I've got some pictures of what it looks like currently. And I do want to mention that we will be fixing the roof of the porch. It's currently asphalt shingle. We'll be replacing it in kind with asphalt shingle. I attached a historic image of the porch, which is roughly from 1910, 1930. We're not positive, but our intention is to have the porch look exactly like that historic photo. We will be eliminating that staircase to the second level. That will go away. And so it'll look basically like that historic photo on beneath the current photo. I did include the architectural specs. I had them lay out differently just so you can zoom in on them. And I know that's a little hard to see some of the writing, but I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys may have. I think I covered everything that I wanted to say, so I think I'm good. Happy to
Okay.
answer questions.
So it's gonna look like it used to look, not like it currently looks, with the staircase and that other door up above.
Exactly. It's gonna look like it's gonna look in the historic photo. Yeah, that's the goal, to bring it back to, what was it, like 1895 roughly to 1930, that time period.
I can add some additional details too, if it helps. The porch was added because at one point there were 4 meters on that house. It was all chopped up into apartments, so that porch was turned into a fire escape as a means of egress from the second floor. It's not a residence anymore. It's a mixed use property as it's zoned currently. So we're, like Regan said, it's going to be returned back to how it originally was built, which was purely decorative. There wasn't any other use beyond that. So it's going to reflect the decorative nature of the house.
Mhm.
So Regan, you said you were going to be pulling out the staircase. What's going to happen to the door at the top? Will that be made a window again, as it is in the photo underneath it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think the door, that second level door, is gonna become a window. Exactly. Yeah, that's
Gotcha.
what's gonna happen.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, of course.
Yeah, with the hips on that, it looks like, from the architecture's drawing, that would go underneath that window. I don't know. It would have to do something. Have to do something there to, otherwise it'd go into the bottom of that door, if not even with the hip there. Gutters, are there any gutters on that, or are those corbels kind of get in the way of, or is there a gutter above at the edge of the thing here?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't think there's currently a gutter on the.
There are no gutters on the house. No.
Yeah, there's no gutters. Yeah, and we
Okay.
are not intending to install gutters at this moment. That may come later. The first phase is just
Yeah.
fixing the porch.
Yep. Excellent. And check me if I'm wrong, we had a little driveway or something to get from but the side, right by the side of this, was that something that's not going to interfere or anything with what was there before, or what's planned, I guess?
Yeah, the driveway, there's only really one entryway, and this is going to be a persistent issue that we're facing, but the best way to access to Town Street is to use the driveway for Leffingwell House Museum to then go around the back.
Other way around, yeah.
We did look into the thought of trying to make access on Town Street to get to like the rear of Town Street. There is a slope. It's a really steep grade, and we had engineers out and they took a look at it and they said, yep, to build up the grade enough to have cars being able to go down just didn't make a whole lot of sense. It made more sense just to continue to use the driveway, since both properties are owned by the same entity. They're same ownership. So we're just going to use the Leffingwell driveway at this point. So we're not adding a new, driveway to get to the building at this point.
porch rails, and the spindles, are those gonna be reused? Or is that,
Yeah, the goal is that anything decorative, like the corbels in particular, and some of the spindles would be removed carefully, restored, likely repainted. The goal is to salvage as much historical material, original historic material as we can, and to reuse it in the final product.
so this application is the porch, restore, or, keep as much as you can. The door also is included in that.
Yep, the doors included, the window, the clapboard, the trim, all of those repairs to that,
Right.
that basically porch side of the house. Is
And
what we're
anything- yeah.
building.
And the two windows below the porch, those are not affected, everything, it'll work around that.
Which ones? The little
There's two
tiny
small
ones?
ones, yeah, two small ones just below the porch.
The little
Captain.
tiny ones, yeah, we are intending to, because currently there actually are no windows underneath. So we are intending to put little tiny wood windows, custom wood windows in, like where the foundation level is.
Yep.
Of the building, because right
Cool.
now there's nothing.
Yep.
which is-
All right. Anyone else? Any other questions?
Mm-mm.
All right. Hearing none, last chance, last words, last nickels for you. No? All right. I will close out this COA, and that closes out the public hearing. It's 5:50, and we will move into the regular meeting. All right. And so on the agenda here is actions on these COAs. We will take COAs as they were presented. So I'll entertain a motion for COA 509. That's for 197, 199, and I believe 7 Otis Roofing.
I move to accept as proposed.
I
I'll
will
second it.
I got Nancy seconding Greg as the motion. Do we have any discussion?
Seems pretty straightforward.
I know, I know Father Tony, it'll all be done correctly. And I like the idea of the architectural shingles myself.
Yeah, it's an upgrade.
Yeah,
Will look much
Right.
better.
All right,
that's true.
any more discussion?
No,
Hearing none, I'll take a vote. Greg,
I,
Dane,
Aye.
Jake,
Aye.
Nancy,
aye.
Regan,
Aye.
and I vote aye. It's unanimous. COA 509 passes. Next, we have COA 510. That's for 2 Town Street, the porch and the other things required for restoring that porch. I'll entertain a motion, but not from you, Regan.
Yeah, I move we approve the application as presented.
Do I have a second?
Second.
That was Jake, second.
Yep.
Nancy was the motion. Do
Mhm.
we have any discussion?
seems like a good project. You guys have done a good job getting funding. Wow, that's a big chunk of funding to get.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah, that is amazing.
Excellent. And all the architectural drawings, everything looked really good. And certainly it's going to look a lot better, I think, than what's currently there. So,
Yeah, making Luckenwell House look bad. The
Yeah.
Porch hanging off there.
all right. Do we have any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll go for a roll here. Greg,
I,
Dane,
I will abstain my vote in
All
the
right.
interest of my affiliation with Society of the Founders.
noted. Jake,
Aye.
Nancy,
Aye.
Regan, know you're abstaining.
Yep, I also abstain.
All right, and I vote aye. So we have whatever, all ayes and a couple abstentions. So COA 510 passes. I will send something in the morning here to the building department and clerk for both of those COAs, and congratulations. All right. Now we will go into regular meeting. We are in regular meeting, excuse me, approval of the meeting minutes. I believe Catherine had sent those out. Those are the meeting minutes from January's meeting. Hopefully
Yeah.
everyone had a chance to read them. You can
Mhm.
still vote on it, Dane, even though I know you would miss that meeting.
I did go
but-
through them. I read through the minutes.
Okay,
So I read through them, Tim, and I wasn't at the meeting, but I did see one mistake in there. Paragraph C, it's missing a digit in the year there after the discussion about Jake being reappointed. Currently says was reappointed through 202.
Oh, I see that too.
why am I missing that? Why am I?
I can fix that, but I just wanted to remind you guys that you are allowed to vote on the minutes even if you weren't at the meeting.
All right, good. All right, so Catherine, you have that 202 in the chairman's report?
Yeah.
I
All
think,
right.
I don't know what the final digit is supposed to be, but
I think it's, I'm looking on our HDC website right now and it says Jake is good through 2023.
I knew it was, there was a difference of a year between those two,
Mhm.
so 2023 it is. And Greg, I know, I'm pretty sure, and you'll see it there, I guess, is 2024. And I don't remember how hard we looked at it before for Dane, but any other additions or subtractions or changes?
that was the only thing I noticed.
Okay, hearing none, we will take a vote. Greg?
I
Oh, wait, we need
Oh,
motion.
oh, I'm sorry,
Oh.
you're right. Yeah. Entertain a motion.
I'll move to accept the minutes as corrected.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I
I
got
beat
Regan,
Nancy.
Regan seconds.
Regan second.
Yeah.
Greg made the motion. And so now I will take a vote. Greg,
I
Dane,
Aye.
Jake,
Aye.
all right, Nancy,
Aye.
Regan,
I,
and I say aye. The meeting minutes are officially passed. Catherine, you'll do the right thing here, I guess, and send them on to the clerk as non-draft. All right, next, we have a chairman's report. Don't have much other than I'll include in this one, we had action on COA 507 that was put on we didn't pass it immediately during the meeting. We wanted to take a look at the sconces in place. Vincenzo got word and immediately that morning had kind of put them up in place. I don't think he had hooked them up. And Jake, I think you, myself, and Regan, you had to look at them because I was able to pass a picture around just to us to give the final thumbs up or thumbs down on that. And for everyone's note here, we gave it a thumbs up, and I submitted the paperwork just on the heels of submitting the other approved COAs that month. So we were able to wrap that up very quickly past the meeting. So they were approved. The lights are on. Usually they're on until midnight or something like that, in case anyone wants to come take a look at them. They look nice, and the lights, I think, are on the back also, instead of the holiday lights, I think, that were on spotlight on the wreath. So at any rate, I think that is all I had for chairman's report. In old business, I'm sorry. No, I'm just getting random noise. I'm sorry. For old business, there was a email that went around, something from the building department that's kind of clued us into someone had asked for a permit we knew there was work coming. I don't believe it was the 197, 199 Broadway, but it was down in Broadway. And in order to evaluate what that application was or what our action would have been to it, I did call the secretary down there, and she said she would get in touch with, I want to say Dan, I can't remember who the,
Dan Coley, the building.
yeah, yeah. Would get back to me. I never saw anything back on the our email account. I never got a call back. I'm not sure what action. I thought it was electrical, actually, was what they were looking for to do. But I still didn't see anything I would have anticipated either. If it needed a COA, then something would have come about it. I don't know what, again, the building department did about it, but I will double check on that again. So we'll keep that in old business. And the only other thing I saw in there was from Pam Kinder, who is UCFS facilities. I'm not sure what her official role is, but anytime that they submit a COA, she's usually at the head of that submission. We recently approved some windows, a lot of windows over there. And I saw an email, I don't know, came to you, Regan, didn't see it come out through the regular channels necessarily, other than you certainly responded to it and said, hey, if you're planning on doing any of the modifications, I think they were looking at, instead of what we approved 6/6, I think they were looking at 4/4. And God only knows which windows, because there were a lot of windows in there and they were going to attack them. So you obviously told her, hey, if you are going to modify it, or if it was going to go into an extension past the 6 months, to get back in touch with us. So I think that was coming too close to this meeting to get it on this agenda. So I anticipate there'll be something, even though it's I'm putting it under old business, it'll probably end up being new business for next month.
Yeah, she had emailed me on Friday, which was, after we had submitted all of our paperwork to the clerk. And
Yeah.
she said the rear of the house, the HDC had originally approved 4/4 for the back newer half addition of the building. But then she said that they're interested in switching it to the 6/6 that they have in the other portion of the house. And since it was a change than what we originally approved, I said, well, yeah, you probably should.
Right.
send that
So
again.
I had that backwards. I don't remember what the COA is, but we'll at least have that. So when it does come up again, we'll have that as the background information on that. So leading us, I have no other old business. If anyone else has anything that they remember or would like to point out, that leads us into new business. And I don't have any new business, although I do have new business. I know another house sold down on Washington Street. I want to say probably a 3 even number, down a couple houses up from Butts Lane. Now I can't think of her last name, but they just bought around the corner. She had been coming in front of us for a bunch of other COAs, but their house did sell. So that's probably another person we can add to the welcoming committee. Welcome aboard, whatever we send out. Just give them a,
I think I sent a letter to that new house because I saw in the paper that the property transaction went through. So I think I sent a letter to that house, and then the big beautiful white house on the hill that I'm forgetting who lived there before, but that recently changed hands too.
right. Yeah.
So I also sent a letter to those new owners to say,
Yeah.
hi.
Megan Campbell is the name I was thinking of for the other house. I think it was on at one point and under contract, and then something went away. So I'm not quite sure what happened there, but it did sell just recently. So, and she's still in the neighborhood, so that's a good thing. Our bed and breakfast, I didn't see any activity, I don't think, for the last weekend. haven't seen anything for a couple weekends. I'm not sure what's going on there, but anyway,
Hmm.
interesting on that. I'm not sure if they're finally getting, I don't know, maybe
I don't
slow
know.
down for the winter.
Every now and then I see a bunch of cars there walking by, but it's not, does not seem to be used all that often, so I don't.
Just weekends for the most part. And I think one of the Heffernan girls is down there, and her and her husband probably have the biggest eye strain or voice or crowd control and noise control. But at any rate, I just noticed that there seemed to be less activity there of late. So,
Hmm.
all right. Does anyone else have any other new business they'd like to discuss? Hearing none. All right. Our next meeting, we're going to keep it, if anyone doesn't have any issues, we'll keep it as a WebEx. Our next meeting is Wednesday, March 15th. That's 5:30.
Hmm.
Everyone good with that? I'll
Okay.
give last, all right, I'll give last Nichols. Anyone?
Mm.
Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
Okay.
So moved.
That's
Second.
Greg and yeah, I
And
heard
so
yes.
seconded.
All right, then we'll give it to Jake.
Dinner time.
Motion by Greg, seconded by Jake. All in favor, just so, all in
Aye.
favor? Aye. All right, ayes have it. All right, guys, thanks.